to give my loser of the week to Greta Thunberg because guess what, Prue? Guess where she's going on her little trip? She's off to Gaza. In fact, she is sailing to Gaza like it's some sort of idyllic holiday destination. She's sailing there on a humanitarian ship on Sunday to protest what she says is Israel's war on the territory. And I wonder if she'll say this to Hamas.
We are in the beginning of a mass extinction, and all you can talk about is money and fairy tales of eternal economic growth. How dare you?
Well, I wonder who should be saying how dare you to. I don't think it'll be Hamas by the sounds.
She's such an urban terrorist herself, she'll fit right in. But also I'm wondering if it's a secret deal from the Israelis to actually... All the Hamas terrorists will leave. If she's inflicted on them, I'm sure they may all decide to leave Gaza, wouldn't you? I mean,
they'll get out of the tunnels or something. But look, you know what? She really is
a poor thing.
Annoying at all times.
Oh.
You know, her activism is so misplaced at the very best of times. And again, we've got to remember there are hostages. There are still hostages. Has she spoken about the hostages like all the other activists? No.
No, exactly. I mean, she's looking for a cause. She's got no other reason to live clearly. It's very sad. The girl is not well, I don't believe. And I think that in this case, you know, let's just hope she stays over there. I think that would be quite a good thing if she just inflicted herself. Oh, no, you wouldn't do that to the people of Gaza. It's just so cruel. But,
well, anyway,
you know,
look,
it's a worry.
She's my big loser of this week. Prue McSween, thanks for joining me.
Well, Brad, you've written the segue for me. Speaking of people divorced from reality, let's talk Greta Thunberg. She's given up on trying to change the weather. The Swedish goblin of doom is now on her way to Gaza. She's joined a flotilla of yachts sailing to the Middle Eastern war zone, but not to rescue hostages. No, she's protesting the evils of Israel.
A little bit messy, but I'm trying to go as fast as I can. Right now, we just left Augusta and we're heading towards Catania in Sicily. We're on the Madeleine. We've been trying to sail to Gaza with aid, with solidarity and love for so long, and we are one huge step closer to getting to Gaza now.
So we can see Greta there on the yacht. I'm trying to work out what sort of reception Greta Thunberg is going to get from, you know, the boys in Hamas.
I have questions. They're going to Gaza with solidarity and love. Won't somebody tell the Nobel Prize Committee that the peace is about to be achieved in the Middle East? Greta Thunberg is rolling up with the rest of her friends with solidarity and love. The whole thing is comical, frankly, in the way that they're just like desperate to interject themselves. What do they think is going to happen? Oh, yeah, there's a blockade around this area, but you're Greta Thunberg. Oh, we'll get all out of your way. And even then, do they have a death wish? I mean, it's not safe to be in Gaza. There's a war going on. It's just a really strange but typically attention-seeking and bizarre stunt from Greta Thunberg, who always, you know, she's got an eye for publicity, for getting herself involved in whatever's going on. But this one is kind of a new low, honestly, in terms of exploiting tragedies and seeking attention.
Yeah, you're not wrong about that. Brad, it's always a joy to talk to you. Thanks for helping us make sense of America. And we'll see you on Danica and James again next week.
Well, look, I want to ask you about a couple of international things. Now, Greta Thunberg now wants to sail into Gaza on a diesel-powered vessel, by the way. If we've got that clip of Greta Thunberg saying that she's ready to go into Gaza to save the day. Here it is.
Hello, I am currently standing on the Madeleine, the ship that on Sunday, June 1st, will attempt to again sail towards Gaza and to try to break the siege and open up a humanitarian corridor by delivering aid like food and medical supplies.
I mean, Ray, shouldn't Israel just give her official transport to Gaza, see how she goes dealing with the Hamas terrorists?
She wants to be a bit careful sailing into... Well, she's not sailing, she's motoring into Gaza, as Andrew Bolt pointed out in his column this morning. But the simple fact of the matter is she might be a bit worried about getting shot by Hamas because they, as you've reported, are shooting people as they go to get aid, which is sent to Gaza by the Israelis. And so, people say they're gunmen. Well, I mean, who else runs around Gaza City with a submachine gun if you're not a member of a terrorist organisation, which is, by the way, the duly elected government and has been for 17 years, Hamas. So, look, she used to drive me mad on climate change. Now she's driving me mad. She stuck her head into what's happening in Gaza at the moment. And, I could care less whether she goes there or doesn't go there. What's she going to take a jar of peanut butter and a loaf of bread or something?
Oh, sorry. And that footage you were just referring to, if we've got it, we can show it as overlay. We can bring it up on the screen. But, Israel has set up, the Israeli footage. This is drone footage that we're going to show you. Here it is. Yep. Where Israel set up, and this is distressing content, Israel set up a new aid centre, and Palestinian masked terrorists, we don't know for sure if they're Hamas or another terrorist group, have been shooting civilians who are going to get aid, Ray. This is what you were referring to just a minute ago.
Yeah, sorry to get ahead of you, but if you're framing a market, it's odds on. It's Hamas. It's odds on. They're there, they're on the ground, and they're killing the people from Gaza to take away the aid that's being trucked in there by Israel. Yeah. I mean, and the mainstream media tends to ignore this. It doesn't happen. No, it's just one lunatic, like the lunatic of the United States of America, doing something to another race of people in that part of the world. No, it's not. They're a terrorist organisation as disclosed by every government, including ours. They won't be decried by Penny Wong or Anthony Albanese. I mean, say it for what it is. They're democratically elected. They're a terrorist organisation. We shouldn't be dealing with them or even, thinking about dealing with them.
No, indeed. Democratically elected back in 2007. About time for another election, I'd say. Ray, thank you very much.
Thank you,
Love
Sharon.
having you on the show. We'll see you next Monday.
I'll be here. Look forward to it. Thanks very much.
Now, Swedish doom-goblin Greta Thunberg is in a boat and she's heading to Gaza.
Hello, I am currently standing on the Madeleine, the ship that on Sunday, June 1st, will attempt to again sail towards Gaza and to try to break the siege and open up a humanitarian corridor by delivering aid like food and medical supplies.
Caroline, what more can you tell me about this expedition?
Well, this is the second time Greta Thunberg is hoping to jump on a plan to jump on a ship and head out to Gaza, where frankly I hope she remains and sees what life is really like, especially for women in Gaza. She is on this expedition with this group called Freedom Flotilla Coalition. They set off from Sicily in southern Italy. They're hoping to, as they say, break the Israeli siege on Gaza, deliver aid, raise awareness of the humanitarian crisis there. But of course, Greta Thunberg only speaks about what she calls a genocide in Gaza and the starvation of all these people. She never speaks about Hamas, about the horrors. She never puts any context into it that this is a war that was started by a terror organisation that has, again, only days ago refused to accept a ceasefire deal put forward from the US. It's only ever one side with her, only ever propaganda. Apparently she's got tired of the climate stuff. Now she's preaching to us on this.
Yes. Caroline Marcus, thank you so much for your time tonight.